And Bruce, being an American who has lived in Spain for so long, lived in Portugal, how would you describe the cost of living in Portugal? Is it, that expensive or that cheap as people say? Some, what would you
Well, that
say?
depends. That depends. It's the same everywhere. It's not just Portugal. It's how you live and where you live. You want to live in Cascais? You want to live in, Estoril? You want to live in the Algarve? Well, be prepared. The prices have gone up, up, up. We're talking about $500,000 to $1 million to buy a house now. Even Lisbon right now. Even places like Coimbra. Um, but that said, okay, I get asked this question quite a bit. People want to know what's the cost of living. And I maintain I don't live in Cascais. I don't live in Lisbon. I don't live in Porto. I don't live in one of the, as I mentioned, I live in a typical Portuguese town, which is what I want. One's a town, another's a village. They both have all of the amenities that I like. I paid cash, okay, from the sale of my house in the United States. I was able to pay cash for 3 different properties, all right, including improving them to the standards, and there's another, and I didn't want to go into frustrations, but, I think people are a little bit shocked when you're not looking in Lisbon or Cascais or Estoril, or some of these places where they're brand new builds and multi-million dollars and so forth. If you're looking in a typical Portuguese village, and many people I know are coming because they want to do that, or they want to buy a quinta and live off the land, and so forth. Um, you can buy properties. You can buy properties. Each of our houses have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, living room. We have a small patio, backyard, and so forth. They're row houses. They're attached houses, and we've gotten to know our neighbors and practice Portuguese and so forth. But what I'm trying to say is that I paid 40,000 euros approximately for each of these properties, and I invested maybe 20,000 euros. Okay. You can't just put in air conditioning. Okay. Air conditioning, especially the inverter units, are very cost efficient and are excellent for both heating and cooling. But many Spanish properties, homes, the wiring is the original wiring, and it's not strong enough to carry the increased current potencia that is necessary. So for each of the houses, we had to have new wiring put in. All right, and then you purchase, your air conditioners, and you pay for the installation, and there are things that, if the house has been empty for a while, you might deal with some mold, and you want to get rid of the mold, and you want to have everything painted, and you want to get rid of the wooden single pane windows, and get the newer vinyl, double pane windows. And being from America, I always ask for mosquiteras, por favor. I will always pay to have fly screens put into them. But where I'm going with this is that we paid cash for all 3 houses, and between the price of the property, the improvements, and the fix-ups that we made, so that anybody would be comfortable living in there, assuming that they wanted to live in a smaller town, or in a Portuguese setting. Each one came to between 50 and 60,000 euros. And so, from the proceeds of the sale of our home in the United States, we were able to purchase and pay cash without a mortgage for the 3 properties. Now, that said, since we have no loans, we don't have a car loan, We don't have credit card debt. We don't have mortgages to pay. I will tell you this much, that we maintain electric, internet, water, sewer, taxes, insurance, everything is covered by my Social Security monthly payment. And my Social Security monthly payment is 2,200 US dollars a month. Again, I'm talking $2,200 a month to cover all of our expenses, including eating out, including taking a vacation now or then. I think probably something that most of your viewers, your audience can relate to is in all three houses, we have high-speed internet, higher speed than is available in the United States. We have mobile phones. We have two televisions in each property. So internet, cell phone, a landline phone, and two televisions in three houses together costs us 125 euros a month. All right. In the United States, you're talking about 150 to 200 dollars a month for far less of service. And you ask people who have Comcast or Time Warner or whatever, the frustrations that they have dealing, with those companies. Now, so the cost of living here is very affordable, especially if you come into it without debt.
I agree. I agree totally, Bruce. As an expat, just like you, I could feel the difference between living here in a not so high standard of life. I'm just like you. I'm I I don't spend that much. I didn't choose to live in Lisbon or in Porto. I went to Braga, a nice place, calm, and I was able to save money that I would never think about if I was living in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we talk about the medical related expenses that I had in Brazil. It was
Mm-hmm.
kind of mandatory for me to have a private insurance, a costly one,
Yeah.
and I never felt the need to hire one here. I've always been going to public hospitals. Of course, once in a while, I have to go to a private one, do some kind of a consultation, and usually have to spend something like 40 to 50 bucks to do a medical
Yeah.
analysis, and
40
that's
to 50 euros for a private consultation. Okay.
yeah.
Um, um, you compare that with almost $1,000 in the United States for a private consultation. You know, now there are some differences, and we have to be very careful when we use the consultation. My very first experience with the doctor, because there was an issue that I needed to deal with, and I went to a gastroenterologist, whatever the word is, the one that deals with your digestive functions. And I had a consult, and the one thing she did was she took my blood pressure, and we talked. We talked. Okay, now in the United States, when you have a doctor's appointment, the doctor is going to examine you. Okay, that's not the same thing here. When you have a consult, it's a consult, and the doctor will either give you a prescription for lab tests, which are covered by insurance or very inexpensive. Medicines are very, very inexpensive here. They're subsidized by the government. Whether you have health insurance or not, they're much cheaper than almost anywhere else that I know. But yeah, it's another one of those things of expectations. You make an appointment with the doctor, and you're expected to be, take your shirt off, breathe in, breathe out. Let me look in your ears. Let me look in your eye. That's not a consult. All right, but you'll get an appointment. You'll get a prescription from your doctor for that kind of,
And also Bruce, talking about medical topics, which is a very important one. The way that they organize the system, I think it's very clever in a way for you to be appointed a specific person, specific doctor, to be the person who will know you through your journey in Portugal. So when just went here, we had a consultation. I had my back history from Brazil, and since then, this doctor knows me like for these 6 years. If I get a cold or if I do need to go to the doctor, he will know all of my history
Hmm. Hmm.
in Portugal, and I think this is very
Hmm.
unique here.